There's no definitive funding left over because we haven't touched it, correct?
We'll address your questions on the way.
Okay.
So that's your question?
Yes.
Okay. Augie? Ashley?
One question. I may be really tired, but what does it mean by ease and cost?
Those are just, if you look,
Oh, okay, sorry. Yep, thank you.
Yes, one of the critical things that we do have to look at is time. And the Kite Festival is a big event for LA32. So I think in the sake of time and the amount of money that we have, I would say that it is an outreach event that I think we should invest in. So I'm in favor of the reallocation. There is some money left at the Neighborhood Purpose Grant that we can still work with in the time that's left. Community Improvement Project, there's $1,000 there. I mean, if somebody wanted to do the beautification project with that, I think there's money to work with. So I would ask the board to support the reallocation. Thank you, Don.
Yeah, so we met with Budget and Finance, actually, both of us, the membership and outreach and Budget and Finance met together to put this together. Budget and Finance was also, to reallocate the funds, so this event can happen. This event, from what I'm hearing, the Kite Festival is Alley 32s, and with this going forward, I think we can bring it back to the community. So I am urging the board members to approve these allocation of funds.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, I'm also in agreement. We just don't have enough time to really do another big event. I think we should just, try to go all out for this one. So I'm also pro.
Michelle?
I think that as soon as Janet gives me, Janet Hernandez, our funding rep gives me the balances, I will email it to all of you guys, so you guys know where we're at exactly on each category. But I know that we have to expend stuff on operations, a nice amount, so, it's not like we haven't touched it, we have. And like I said, I can't give you an exact amount, because once again, we were in exhausted efforts and I had no access to that. But I will take it upon myself to get that information for you guys and email it to you guys as soon as she gives it to me.
Cynthia?
I'm in approval for this event and for the allocations of these fundings.
Victor?
Yes, I also agree. I'm in favor of this also, but just point of clarification regarding some projects that you mentioned that we should go forward with. Now that we're on exhausted efforts and there's a time limit to the spending, my question is, and I'm pretty sure this, the board can make approved items to be approved and it be taken out of next year's budget. That's just a question. Can the committees and the board approve items now and it'll come out of next year's allocation funds?
Not really. Well, okay, so what you can do is develop projects or things that you would like the board to approve and adopt in the coming fiscal year, but technically you're supposed to have a budget approved before you allocate any funds from that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for example, if you know of like, I don't know, a 4th of July event or something, or a summer festival that you want the neighborhood council to get involved in, go ahead and start, talking to your outreach committee or getting the legwork done and putting the proposal together. But technically, you probably shouldn't vote on it or put it before the board as an expenditure until you have the year's budget in place. And that budget is due, when is it due? July 1st?
I thought June 30th.
June 30th, July 1st. So basically, the budget's due at this end of the fiscal year. So, and again, just like you're doing tonight, you can always modify your budget as things change throughout the year.
Mr. Chavez?
I have 2 items. Okay. Now that we're out of exhaustive efforts, Felix has had for a couple of years now asking for money for whatever the purpose was. Obviously, we've all forgotten about it.
No, none of us have forgotten about it.
Well-
We're on this item.
Okay, yeah, but since we have money left over, and that's what we're talking about, what to use it, I would like this board, obviously I'm gonna vote for this thing now, but I would like this board and finance to consider Felix's, request for so long, and, you know, it wasn't even brought up it's not even on the agenda for today, the sheriff.
No, it's not, because we weren't off exhaustive efforts, but I'm gonna ask you again to stick to this.
Okay.
We're well aware of that, Michelle and I have spoken, and we're working
Good.
on it, and we're absolutely in favor of reimbursing them.
Okay, now the other item is, we've talked a lot, and I'm glad that we have talked a lot, the kite festival, and where and when and all that. It has not been mentioned once at all, especially when we have more people out there, that it's free. Some of those people might not think that it's
It
free.
was mentioned, and again, reallocation, please. Any questions on this?
Yeah, but like I said, no one said,
We did, Gama said it was free.
well, I didn't hear it.
You were,
You were out there getting your hat,
You were
so.
hiding your Easter eggs.
Some of those people might not have heard it either. You don't know.
Okay, coming back this way to address, I don't believe you really had any concerns about the reallocation. Nobody here did. Sasha had,
Thank you for,
you asked about the funding that was to remain.
Yeah.
She's gonna send it to you. I do know that there's still 5,000 left in the neighborhood purpose grant and at least 1,000 left in the community improvement project.
yeah, thank you for answering that, Michelle, and I guess if there's any way that we can kind of speed up that process over like a done, just so we can get those numbers, that'd be really awesome, just so we can see if we can do anything else, but, I'm definitely in favor of this, and I think we need to get things on roll, so.
Okay, anybody else on this side? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a roll call vote.
Marlene,
Yes.
Capricia,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Gama,
Yes.
Ruben,
Simone.
Cynthia,
Yes.
Angela,
Yes.
Augustine, Sasha,
Yes.
Jolie,
Yes.
me, yes, Victor?
Yes.
Okay, so motion passes 12-0.
A lot of hard work went into that, a lot of hard work.
Okay, moving on, sorry about that. And so the motion passed, right? Great, thank you, everybody. Moving on to item 14. Discussion and possible action regarding approval of the name and the flyers for the April 19th, 2015 Kite Festival. The motion reads that the LA 32 Neighborhood Council approve the following wording for all flyers, banners, and posters. And there should be, so it would be worded as such. CD14 Councilman Jose Huizar and LA 32 Neighborhood Council present to you the El Sereno 5th Annual Kite Festival. That would be on all flyers, brochures, everything along the top. This motion was by the membership and outreach. Do you have something to say on this, Donna? As a chair, that put this motion forward.
You want me to put the motion forward?
No. Do you have anything to say about the motion?
Oh, again, we teamed up with Budget Finance so we can make this possible, because we felt that asking for sponsorships and asking certain people for, to sponsor this event, something that the neighborhood council was in charge of running. Michelle and myself kind of got we were like, some of the people that we were asking for help were kind of like, well, what kind of we're basically trying to say was that, we put together these line items to be presented again, and if we were to be off exhausted efforts, we were to pick up the slack, the rest.
Naming.
Not a naming of the event.
Oh, on the flyers.
The name of the event, the wording.
No, that's the way it was motioned, and that's the way we want to put it through. I mean, if the board wants to change it in any way or whatever it is, but, we're down with that, but at least as long as the event goes through.
Okay, is there
I move the motion.
Second.
motion moved by Ruben, seconded by Sasha? And now open for public comment. I have one speaker card from Mr. Anthony.
Good evening, directors. This is Anthony Manzano speaking for item 14 on the agenda. First of all, I'd like to mention that the name of the Kite Festival is a proprietary name that belongs to the LA 32 Neighborhood Council. I have posters here back from 2012. It actually started the event in 2011 while I was the president of this neighborhood council. And for any board member to put El Sereno, basically what you're doing is you're ignoring the fact that you represent LA 32 Neighborhood Council. I attended the meetings. I have my paperwork right here, and in this package it says El Sereno all over the place. Where did the board approve that? But not only where did the board approve it, because you guys are going to approve it right now. My question is, in the very same package, look at your attachments right there. The paperwork that you're going to send to Dunn says LA 32 Neighborhood Council, because the treasurer knows when you pay for this, it has to say LA 32 Neighborhood Council. But basically what they want to pass out to the people says El Sereno. So if you look at your paperwork, there's already conflicting information, because on your attachments, I believe it's number 3, that's the true name of the event. So for all my West Region representatives and my at-large representatives should represent that the name of the neighborhood council stay as is and is entitled proprietary to the neighborhood council. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Public comment? Mr. Garcia?
Good evening. I want to thank, first of all, the committee members, Don and Michelle, for the hard work on this event. I can go in and finally see it through, hopefully. I want to point out that during these committee meetings, there was support for the name here today by various community members. Also, people have different names when we call where they live. But doesn't matter what you call it, because in the end, it's all incidental. We know this because on the articles, it's NC. This NC's by an article say that anyone who lives, works, owns property in this area, the NC is incidental resident, but it's incidental community member. So I don't understand why kind of being incidental is bad. That's who we are, incidental. This is what even today, Councilman Lizar said, this NC was incidental. He said, thank you for working with this community incidental. And so I think we should support the committee's recommendation, motion, to have it named whatever they deem the demand to be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, with the gray hat, you had a public comment?
Oh, do you know him?
He's a cert. I guess it's cert, because he is a cert.
No, I said
Sir. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, you're new. Thank you for coming, you're new face to us.
I just wanted to thank
So this would be a comment on this item. Okay, go ahead.
where's it going to be held at?
Put the mic on your mouth.
This event is held at Ascot Park.
What?
This event is held at Ascot Hills, right up here in these hills behind you. Have you been to the trails up here in Ascot? It's off Mont Loma Avenue Road. What is Mont Loma Avenue? It's in Hillside Village by
Wilson.
across from Wilson High School. Thank you. Is that the, yeah, the side of Mont Loma is the end. Okay, so that's public comment. Now we're opening up for board discussion, starting to my left.
I think the only question I had was, so Councilman Finkler's office is the only one that's giving us funding for this, right? Because I know we said we were going to reach out to Supervisor Solis, but I just want to make sure that, you know, because if we're going to recognize Weezer for giving funding, and Solis is also giving funding, you know what I mean? So,
Okay, so he'll address that on the way back. Agi?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what they said about the El Sereno, the El Sereno Kite Fest, that they switched the name on. I think they should just leave it the way it was. You know, I know that probably 32 is funding it, whatever, but why change it? You know, I know they have to be on it, but why can't they all be on it? You know?
What do you mean, the councilman or the?
Yes, no, well, because it was on El Sereno Kite Fest.
Oh, so you're saying?
So yeah, I would leave it the way it is, you know?
Which way is that?
I'm not
Is that
sure.
like 32 or 30?
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Yeah, but yeah, I would want it, but I wouldn't want to take it off, I would leave it on.
The El Sereno
Yes.
wording,
Yes,
so leave it as is.
I would.
Okay, thank you. Angela?
Okay, no, I completely agree with the kite festival, but I don't agree with just calling it because that's, because we have so many other communities that we represent, Hillside Village, Rose Hills, and so many others. So I would say, as all the other years that we've been involved with the kite festival, is just strike the El Sereno and leave it, the motion as the LA 32 Council presents to you the 5th annual kite festival. And that's why it's all inclusive. But I agree with the kite festival, it's a great program.
Thank you, Young.
Yes, okay. So the last few years, it has been called the El Sereno Kite Festival, and it is known that it's an LA 32 event. It doesn't take away from the MC. I think it's a plus to have El Sereno Kite Festival because this event is for families, especially for children. And it gives pride to the children. It gives them a sense of identity to know that a great event is taking place in their community. Okay? El Sereno is inclusive because if you look at our articles of corporation for the NC, it clearly tells you that these neighborhoods, whether you know, Hillside Village,